Hey guys, I'm back. Long time no see. Was inspired today. I'm at the beach. This is the place I come and get clarity and peace. Uh, Try to do it every morning. Heaven, here you go. But I just want to tell you guys real quick that we've all been sold a lie, and it's an illusion. And it's an illusion is that you cannot have peace, you cannot have joy in your regular life, especially joy. Joys for the weekends, joys for vacations, joys for special occasions in your life when you finally reach a goal or you finally do something that you always wanted to do. But pretty much everything else, you just have to do what you have to do. When you're a kid, most of us were told at a certain time that you have to grow up. You can't always have things the way you wanted to have it. And that's true and everything, but the real message that they were giving all of us is that you can't be in joy all the time. You can't have fun all the time. Sometimes you gotta do shit. And as you get older, going through teenager to your 20s to your 30s, it seems like that makes a natural progression of you doing less and less things that bring you joy. And you do more and more things you're responsible. You gotta take care of your responsibilities. But all that's bullshit and all of it's a lie. Joy has nothing to do with the end result. Joy really is within. And you can know this from everybody has had experiences where they just felt like really good for no damn reason. And you're like, wow, I just feel good today. I feel great, I just feel like alive, I feel good. I feel like nobody can mess up my vibe. Everybody's had that. Well, you can have that every day. You can live that every day with practice. You got to practice though. You have to have a practice, a joy practice that helps you to get to that point every day. And I'm going to tell you, at least for me, I don't know if it's true for everybody, but it has to begin with peace. Peace is first. If you can't get yourself to a state of peace, it's going to be very hard for you to feel joy, because peace and joy is your natural state. I think of it like this. Like, you have joy is at the bottom, you have peace above it, and then you have all this shit. You have anger, you got frustration, you have anxiety, maybe sadness. You have all these things piled on top of it. And what you have to do is let go of all those other stuff. Let it go, let it go, let it go, and then you get to a state of peace. And then once you're at that state of peace, joy starts popping up on its own. And you just start feeling good for no reason. You feel connected, you feel happy, you feel like nothing is missing. That's the biggest way you know that you're in a state of really like peace and joy. Nothing is missing. You don't need anything. You still want stuff. In a state of joy, I can still do all the work I need to do. Matter of fact, when I'm in joy, I do my work better. And I do work that's more fulfilling, and work that's more abundant, work that'll bring me more abundance, work that is better for my life and the whole world in general. And it flows easily, and I don't have to force it. But you have to trust joy. You have to trust peace, because if you don't trust it, you're going to trade it all the time. It'll be cheap to you. Like, you'll have peace. Like, I always used to get a message about peace and how cheap my peace would be. I would trade it for anything. If somebody cut me off in traffic, I'll let go of my peace and I have to get mad at them. If my wife was upset about something, I'd lose my peace. If my kids didn't do what I wanted them to do, I'd lose my peace. My peace was very cheap. No matter any little thing came into my life, I would throw away my peace so I can handle it. And after I started learning to put peace first, peace was my priority no matter what. Then I started to learn not only how to get to a state of peace, but also how to keep my peace, which is the next thing. When you get to a state of peace, when you learn to get to a state of peace and you get to a state of joy, it will be challenged. It will be challenged over and over throughout the day until you get to the point that you have mastered it. You are so good at choosing joy, at choosing peace at these crossroads, that those challenges don't even come about anymore, or they're so easy that you don't even feel them anymore. It's like you flick it off. Somebody cuts you off, you're like, okay, whatever. You get somebody tries to come at you with negative energy and argue with you, you're just like, okay, no, that's all right. You can believe what you want to. I'm not gonna try and force my opinion or change this. You do what you have to do. Or even things that I thought I would never want to do. Like, I never used to like washing dishes. Now, in a state of joy, I can be in a state of joy. Washing dishes doesn't stop me from being in a state of joy. I wash the dishes joyfully. I'll be watching and be like grateful for all the dishes I have. And the fact that I have all these dishes and the sink is so damn full must mean that I have lots of money for groceries. So I'm grateful for all the food that I have, all the plates I have, all the money I have to get this stuff. So the illusion that we've been sold is that we have to do something for peace and joy, and that we can only have those things on special occasions. It's not true. It's within you. And it's less of going out to do something to feel peace and joy, and more of being in yourself, being mindful, and facing the things that are bothering you and releasing them. And you can do that through meditation. TM helped me a lot with that, and just a mindfulness practice in general will help you to do that. But you don't have to do anything special. You don't have to go fishing. You don't have to dance. You don't have to play music. You don't even have to say affirmations. It makes me think of like the Matrix when Morpheus told Neo, and Neo's like, "What are you trying to say? That I can dodge bullets?" And Morpheus was like, "Well, when you're ready, you won't have to." And when the bullets came, when he was ready, he just looked at them and they dropped. That's the same thing with peace and joy. In the beginning, you may have to do a lot of things. You may have to do a lot of things to get your peace and joy. You may have to like stretch and do 20 minutes of yoga. You may have to go out and hang out with your friends and play music and dance and do affirmations. You may have to do all of that in the beginning to get back to a state of peace and joy. And it doesn't matter. Do what you need to do. Do the best you can to get to that state. That's the only thing that matters, is to get to that state and to reside in that state. But the more you do it, the more you'll have clarity and guidance to be able to do it in easier ways, in ways that do not take anything external. And that's the most powerful ways, because sometimes you won't have a friend to talk to. Sometimes you won't be able to listen to music. Sometimes you won't be able to go dancing or be able to do yoga or whatever it is. But you can always turn within. You can always turn within. You can always get to a point, like to the point I am now, is I can just be mindful. I can just sit, even with my eyes open, just get in the moment. I'm gonna feel tension. I'm gonna feel maybe some anxiety. I can maybe even feel anger, but I don't get involved in it anymore. I don't feed it. And eventually it fades away and I start feeling peace, and then joy starts popping up. And then from that state, from a state of joy, I am led to do more joyful things. I don't go looking for things to make me joyful. I find my state of joy, and then I do things joyfully throughout the day and the week and whatever. But I let joy lead me. I don't go searching for joy. That's the other illusion. When you start searching for things, you already have. You already have. You just have to let it out. Everybody has their own way of doing this. So I do a lot of prayer to ask for guidance and clarity, and I do a lot of journaling. I write things down. When I write things down, I get answers faster and at a higher percentage of the time. So I always write down my question and also end it with thank you for clarity and understanding. And I almost always get the answer, but once I do that, you surrender, you let go of the question, and you know that and you can write that, and I will know when I get the answer, so that you're aware when you get your answer. But that is a way that works for me. It may not work for you, but that is something that you may be able to do in order to get clarity and understanding on the best techniques for you to get peace and joy. And I invite you to try it. I didn't trust peace at first. I felt like I couldn't, and Russell Simmons said it when he first gained peace from his he did a yoga class. He's like, man, I feel too good, I'm gonna lose all my money. And that's part of the problem. We don't trust peace, we don't trust joy. We've been convinced that having peace and joy is gonna make you lazy. You're not going to do anything but lay around and eat and have sex and go on vacation, and you're not going to do anything in your life. And it's bullshit. It's utter bullshit. You will do more important, more better work, more fulfilling work. You will do everything you need to do and more. So I invite you to do a test for yourself, experiment, where you give yourself permission for 1 week or longer, but 1 week is what I did because I didn't trust it at all. 1 week to practice peace or joy. I would practice peace first. If you don't have any peace in your life, I would practice peace first. But if you do have peace, a considerable amount of peace in your life, I would practice joy. And you make peace or joy first, priority in your life for that week or those few days, however long you do it. And you journal to keep track of what happens in those days when you're practicing this, because you will see that if you really commit to having peace or joy for those days, that your life will become magical. And don't judge it. The first couple of days, I didn't want to do shit. I just wanted to watch movies all day. And you may feel like that, and you may do that, but don't judge it, because eventually you will start getting a momentum where you'll start doing things, but you have to trust it. And that's why you're giving yourself a time period that, if it doesn't work and it was all BS, no harm done. I only wasted 10 days out of my life or something like that. But if it works, it's going to change your life forever.